Thanks, Uwe, for joining in. Maybe you want to, again, also do a little intro, who you are, what you do, and what you do now. And we got you on board here because you're representing a completely different industry now, which is camping. And I think it's quite interesting to see what's going on and how you're affected and get that perspective.
That's right. Konstantin, Uli, thank you for inviting me. It's an honor to be with you. And it's great to share our insights from the camping industry for the hotel industry as well. I just prepared some charts just to show where we are. There are 4 topics, just 2 charts about what's PinCamp, afterwards what's about camping, because the industry is different and similar and the same. Afterwards, my personal Corona forecast, which is a forecast which has been seen from a institution in Germany as well. And the 4th topic about my Corona learnings. And I think we need another, 7 minutes for those charts. Quite easy. Yeah. Well, the mission statement of PinCamp is quite simple. We want to make campsites in Europe bookable. So actually, if we have a look on the market later on, we see that there is a huge demand on the camper side, and there is less technology on the supply side. We are a startup. We are a subsidiary of the ADAC in Germany. We have an 11 million budget for doing our business within the next 5 years. Actually, there are 42 employees, and we are Berlin-based. So this combination of ADAC and startup is a brand new thing. It's the first time ADAC is doing that. And on the one hand, there's the network of the ADAC on the consumer side, 21 million members. There's a huge network on the camping industry to over 5,500 campsites within Europe. And the core of the brand is trust, and that trust is quite valuable for addressing on the one hand consumers, but campsites as well. And we as a startup, we work agile, we work number-based, we are number crunchers, and for sure we have the chance to use the brand PinCamp for doing an international job, which ADAC is not able to do. So let's have a look on our business model. It's quite easy. On the one hand, from the past, we are coming from an ad-based model. So campsites are paying listing fees to get a better viewability on the product. Now we are switching from an ad-based model to a click-out and a reservation request model. And as we have introduced the IBE, the booking interface for the campsites last November, now we're working as a booking model as well. And actually, we have next to 1,000 campsites bookable on PinCamp.
Wow.
Have a look on the, pardon?
Wow.
Okay, let's have a look on the market. Mission statement, I think we saw this before. The market, actually, we have 26,000 campsites in Europe, and those 26,000 campsites, only 5,000 offer standards for online booking interfaces.
Oh, wow.
So about 21,000 have similar online interfaces for their own websites, but as you know, there are about 140 PMS systems, IBE companies, channel managers. It's super diversified. So there's a demand from the campsite, from the camper. It says, I want to get a bookability, for example, from a campsite in southern Italy. In Europe, we have about 5.2 million caravans and motorhomes, and those owners generate about 367 million overnight stays per year. This is a huge amount, and they generate about 3.4 billion revenue turnover, which means this is a niche on the one hand, if you compare to the market of the hotel industry worldwide, or even compared to Europe. But on the other hand, the niche is big enough to concentrate on that. So our target, make a good job within that niche.
Well, let's say,
and the good thing is,
commission on 3.4 billion is not a bad income.
Well, the first topic should be, if you calculate like that, then you need 100% market share for online business. So from our point of view, we think about getting 15% bookability in online and getting 30% of that within ADAC PinCamp. Then the target would be reached, and the amount of 11 million euros would be paid.
Wow, nice.
The good thing, the market has a tremendous growth. Within the last 5 years, we had a 5% CAGR, which is unbelievable. And the growth in the camping industry is really, it's amazing. And 2020 will be the first year of the really 7 great years where we can see a stop of the growth. Short Corona forecast. How's it going with Corona? I've heard very positive topics about Corona before, or the sessions before, about how many % of revenue will we create. I think there's a pretty good chart. It's from the Kompetenzzentrum Tourismus des Bundes.
Are you able to enlarge that a bit?
I don't know.
Maybe to run it on full screen or something. Then it's.
I think it's next to. Oh, we can do it. We can try. Is it better like that?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Otherwise,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
I think I will show later on a page where you can see that online as well. So it's quite easy what they did. They say there are 4 phases. There's the red one, which is the lockdown phase. There's the second phase, which is called relaxation, Lockerung. The third one is Belebung, which is kind of revitalization, and the fourth one is normalization, which is Normalisierung, so the general business. And there are 3 scenarios. Which one? The first is the optimistic one. The second one, which is with a row of yellow, is the realistic one, and there's a pessimistic one as well. And then they separate about the tourism within our country and the tourism within Europe. And I really appreciate the work of them, because if you have a look on the realistic scenario, then the realistic scenario is, I think the lockdown will be until end of May. And to be honest, actually, on the 30th of April, today, we will see some results from the German government.
They enlarged it already to the 10th of May, I guess.
That's it. They enlarged it already to the 10th of May. And we will talk about what's going on with our tourism industry. And during the phase of lockdown, we will see nothing. And afterwards, the question will be, what will those numbers do for the German market? And what will those numbers do for the market who needs German customers within Europe? And our core markets are beneath Germany. It is Croatia, Italy, France, Spain. And those main markets do more than 50% of our revenue. So for sure, the demand from those markets is huge. And everybody's crying for Germany. Germany, please decide. Because if you decide, the European countries will follow. And if we see those numbers, so in a realistic scenario, the internal tourism will get back in September, and they forecast 2% of the regular revenue. And this is pretty tough. But from another perspective, do we think we will see a non-domestic travel in July? So people go from Germany, for example, to Italy? I'm not sure. So the rule is, first of all, what about the borders? Second, about what is this Auswärtige Amt defining for people? Third, about the borders of the country, of the target country. And the fourth, are they allowed to open on 100% base, on a 50, on a 30%? So a lot of topics. If we have a look on the Lockerung, on the relaxation base, they say, okay, Lockerung will be maybe on the 1st of June, which means there might be a tourism industry in Germany. Yes. A European one, well, 50% in Germany, 30% within Europe. And if we see the revitalization phase, and this is pretty hard, it starts in September 2020 for Germany, and it will go until Q1 in 2021. And for the international industry, they say it will not start before April next year. And I think it's pretty hard if you believe in that numbers. I think it's going to be a real tough time for us. And I've seen the crisis. When I entered the branch, it was about 1997. We had those super years about, wow, there was this new market phase. There was the first startup phase. Everybody was bullish. And we thought about, okay, we will rock the world. Then 2001, 9/11, we have seen, and that was my first crisis. And those years, 2002 and 2003, I thought it was one of the hardest years of my year. One of the hardest years of my life. But afterwards, we have seen Lehman in 2008, 2009. And I was an entrepreneur in the Lehman crisis, and it was pretty tough. I didn't have money at all at that time. It was really hard. But now I think the crisis we see now, this is a pretty new dimension. And I think we have to be aware of it. And I think it's not the right thing to communicate everything's going fine and we are down. No. I don't think so, because there are a lot of topics we haven't discussed yet, and a lot of topics about general impacts of the crisis. For example, what's about the unemployment rate? What about people doing business travel? What about topics like there is this umbrella of 1.2 billion euro only in Germany, but who's paying for that money? What's about inflation? So there are a lot of topics, and to be honest, I'm a very positive guy, but for that time, I'm more realistic. And we should think about what do we have to do now to survive during that period of 2 to 3 years. So this is a Corona forecast. And now my personal Corona learnings. The first topic is stop sales and focus on communication. It's not an idea for a hotel, but even for a hotel, I think actually a lot of people are trying to, I do a better price, something like that. And I think get in a communication modus with your customer. And I just give you 2 examples of what we did. The first thing is when Corona started, for sure we saw that decline of traffic and a tremendously decline. And then the first emails arrived and people were asking something. And after some days, I said, okay, hey, don't answer emails, create an FAQ page. And we created this little FAQ page, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's only one single page. And later on, I will just show you a chart about the traffic relation between the regular PinCamp traffic and this single side of Corona FAQ. So topic number 1, try to communicate with your customer. We did it on a B2C base with the Corona FAQ, and we started 2 weeks ago a Campsite Business Forum on Facebook. And within the first 2 weeks, I think actually we are at 725 business users doing that with us. And now we started a real tough communication, and they ask us about, hey, what's going on in Germany? What are your thoughts about? What do? They share their insights from campsite to campsite. And I think this is a high value, and this value is generated via the brand of PinCamp ADSC. I think this is just one idea. How can we get the branch and the members of the branch together, and how can we create the platform for that? And now just talking about scale the usage of your answers. That's what we're talking about. Don't write emails. For sure, you can write an answer, but we decided to publish every answer, every question, every answer. And that's the number I just want to show you. I just have to do it a bit smaller. This is the traffic on PinCamp. The blue one is the regular traffic. You can see at the beginning of March, regular traffic, every peak is a Sunday, a Sunday, a Sunday. So, but in the 15th of March, it was like that, really decreasing. And some days later, we started this yellow FAQ page, and have a look what the FAQ page is doing for today. Mm-hmm. It's tremendously. Mm-hmm. So more than 50% on some days is getting on that FAQ page. And that's, the brand is still existing. People demand something from the brand, and we handle that, and we try to convince them that we will do everything we can do to solve their problems. And the next learning from my side is promise nothing and act as a trusted partner. I hear so many forecasts, hey, it's going to be better, and it's okay, and in September everything is fine, and maybe we get those 80%. To be honest, it's a total fog situation. We don't know anything. So from my point of view, it's pretty hard to promise anything. And I think the best situation should be, hey, sorry for that, we are in a fog phase. And in a fog phase, you can forecast 2 weeks, maybe 4, but not May. And be honest to the people. So from our point of view, promise nothing, act as a trusted partner seems quite important. And my last learning is invest in people and product. I heard the topic, I think, who has it said? I think it was Trusty. And the question of if you do short-term work or if you do a decline in employees, I think for sure every company has to think about the cost. But there's one department in our company, and that's the Department of Product and Development. Actually, we are hiring. Even in that phase, we are hiring people because I'm pretty sure now it's a chance to create a better product, to find answers for the demand of the people. And if you don't do it actually, if you get down your product development and your development in the dev team, I think it would be the right answer. So I think people and product are quite important. So we try to keep those people alive with us during the next 2 years. I can't tell something if it's sure if we can get it, but we try to do that. And from our point of view, the product perspective is quite the most important one.
Yeah.
Over and out.
Perfect. Now, I mean, super comprehensive, Uwe, and as always, and I know your presentations, and I saw them many times, and it's, there's a little spelling mistake there, Uwe. How did that happen? Learnings.
Invest in people.
Corona learnings.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay,
like
we have to start once again.
We have to do it all the way again. No, thanks a lot.
Oh my God! What
Don't
happened?
worry about it.
The summary is it just
Come on.
nails it, and I completely agree on that. And on the other side, you have to put things in perspective for many people. That I mean, invest in people is obviously you need the money. If you obviously have, I mean, we talked to some people today who said they just got funding. Right, for them, it's like, okay, I don't have a liquidity issue. For other people that need to run out of cash flow, it might be a different one. Yeah, but if you can and don't give up on it. And I also saw an interview from Johannes Reck from Get Your Guide, who also said we're not going to let anyone go. We keep the people as long as we can, because it's a great thing, specifically in Germany compared to other countries where we also have the opportunity to get funding from the government around that, and get payments for that. I think that's definitely an option. Thanks, Uwe. It was absolutely awesome. To everyone, don't forget to answer the polls. And I have to say, if I look at the polls, unfortunately, none of your caps won the poll, but Konstantin's cap won it, right? So.
Oh, come on, the cap. Okay, this is important. So, Konstantin, I will do the same like you do.
But the black and black was actually the one getting the most votes.
The black and black. You prefer the black and black? No problem for me, as I'm a fashion guy. We can use the black and black as well. So, but I think Olga is waiting. Let's go for that.
Absolutely.
Look a little bit like a fishing guy.